Coming up, he's the poet of our generation.
Yes, I've got big hopes about you.
Walt Wilkins performs on the Texas Voices stage at Mile Zero Fest, tells some stories and sings some songs.
Yeah, I'm a writer, and sometimes if I start to doubt it, if I turn everything off, melodies just come. I don't know why that is.
Plus, we head out on the water for an LED Night Kayak Tour.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Being a tour guide out here, I get to educate people about what I love, and it just makes every day good. It's not like going to work. Like when I'm not working, I want to be at work.
And we tell the story behind the tropical treasure that is Ibis Bay Beach Resort.
It has a little something for everybody, really.
Texas Voices hits the road to Mile Zero in Key West, Florida, to feature the artists, musicians, and creatives of our great state next.
Stoke the fire and keep on digging. Make the most of what you're giving. It may seem cold and it may seem tough. Even steel will bend when you heat it up. You're on the road to better days. You can outlast the sun and outlast the rain. Ain't a lot of hard lessons made. Let me tell you, son, soon you're gonna show us how it's done.
Welcome to the beautiful Ibis Bay Beach Resort in sunny Key West, Florida. I'm Lindsay Liepman. All this week we traded in our boots for bare feet at Mile Zero Fest, which highlights the best in red dirt and Americana music. And we got to sit down with the legend himself, Walt Wilkins, who told us stories from the road and shared his new music at our stage at Lost Boy Creations. So you kind of dropped a little nugget that this is a special guitar, so let's start with that.
Yeah, the guitar, this is electric, it's not an acoustic guitar. It's called, was made by Gibson for 1 year, and they only made a few dozen, and I've had two of them.
Yeah.
And this one was painted by my friend Dan Taylor. They made this model to replace a famous guitar called the Chet Atkins, which was the very first guitar, electric guitar was tried to make it sound like an acoustic. Mm-hmm. And for whatever I'll never know. I keep thinking at some point I'll meet someone at Gibson who
can give you the history.
But it was a complete failure. It didn't replace. These were expensive and more than the Chet Atkins, so they moved Chet Atkins to Epiphone. It was kind of the end of both guitars, really, and this just never took off. But I've been in love with it since the first time I used it, and it was a gift from the Gibson in Austin in 2008, I think.
Yeah.
And my first one like I said, they only made a few dozen of the model. My first one, which some of my longtime people would know, it was made for a benefit for Marfa Public Radio, of which I'm a supporter. And but it was made out of the face wood. They made 3 guitars to sell for the station.
Yeah.
And the top wood was yellow pine from the Davis Mountains that had been taken out of an Army Air Force barrack.
Interesting.
So it was like super cool. But anyway, it was beautiful. It had these 2 actual rivet holes in the wood. It was an amazing guitar. It was stolen from the Saxon pub one night. Came back 5.5 years later. A few months after. Yeah, it's incredible.
How did he come back?
It was not stolen by professional thieves. And in fact, I always think I had an idea.
Who took it?
Who took it. And,
as a joke or to just really take it?
No, they were mad at me.
Oh, okay.
These 2 guys they used to come see me play, and they got really drunk one night, and they were bugging everybody. And man, it takes a lot for me to get upset.
They were mad at you?
Yeah, because I yelled at him and physically pushed him out the door.
Yeah.
And which was dumb. Wow. These guys could have killed me probably, but they were pretty drunk. And I think that I had left the guitar by the door, which I did every night. And I think they took it, and I'm sure the next morning they woke up and went,
"Oh, crap!
What are we going to do with this?"
Yeah.
You know? In the meantime, my friend Dallas Wayne, are you familiar with him?
No.
Great songwriter who also is the DJ on Sirius XM.
Okay.
On Outlaw Country and Willie's Place. He's a friend. We've known each other since Nashville, and I mean, he's just such a beautiful guy. About 6 weeks after it was stolen, he said, "Have you got the guitar back?" I said, "No." And he said, "It's not coming back." I said, "I know." He said, "Well, I liked yours, so I bought one." He goes, "But if you don't have one, I'll sell this to you, and so I can get, replace it with some."
Yeah.
And that was just so cool of him. So that's what this is.
That's amazing.
And the one that I got back five and a half years later, I had them
Right.
both for a while, and then Dallas called me a couple of years ago and said, "Man, I can't find one of those guitars. You can't.
Yeah.
They're
Could I have
they're
it
so
back?"
few." He said, "Do you know where to find one? Do you have?" And I said, "I do."
That's
So I gave
amazing.
it back. I gave it to Dallas. So he's got it. Dallas Wayne has that. But it's a really, the tone is every. I mean, you play 150, 200 nights a year, and really almost every night, if I'm with a sound person,
Yeah.
a professional, they'll say, "What is this thing?" I mean, it just
Yeah.
it sounds great. It sounds great every night. It's like I've been watching all those Viking, series. I love all the history and stuff. And they try to get, when they die in battle, you try to get the sword
Right.
in the warrior's hand so you take it to Valhalla.
Yeah.
That's what I hope happens.
When do you feel like, as a songwriter, you really found your voice, hit your stride? Was it many years of doing this before you, or have you always felt good within your own skin and your own craft?
That's a great question. I don't think I've ever been asked that like that. I quit a job I really liked to do this full time. So I've always felt pretty confident. By then I'd written a few songs, and
Yeah.
I thought, well, I could, I'll have to learn how to play them and become a good performer. I wasn't great at that, but I thought, when I started writing, even as a kid, I thought, I just want to have someone record one song before I'm 40. That was my goal.
Yeah.
So I just thought that would be cool. But I always felt confident about that. I'd started playing, and you get a sense of whether you can do it or not. I thought, I can do this. I don't know at what level I'll get to, but yes, somewhere around, after doing a few years, both writing and then presenting them, at some point I was like, yeah, all right. The better songs I know come when I just let them be who they want to be, and I got to get out of the way. Here's a Guy Clark story. I won't tell you the whole story, but it's a good one. The first night I met him and hung out, it was like a movie. But during the process, at one point during this night, it was just me and Guy and a songwriter named Karen Brooks, who I think was from Florida. And the short version is, we were sitting around, and at one point he said, "Well, play me a song." So our knees were almost touching. Guy, he's pretty imposing. And this is 20 years ago, and I said, all right. And I took his guitar, which was a Taylor at the time. He was playing this Taylor there in the studio. And I played him a song which I thought was the best song at the time I had. I'd only written, I don't know, a couple of dozen songs. And so I played him the song, and he had just eviscerated someone for playing a bad song. I mean, it was horrible. And I was like, all right, I'll take my chances. And he put his head down right here in front of the guitar. Just got down like this and listened to the whole song. I played the song. And when it was over, he raised up, and he said, "Man, I think if you switch lines 1 and 3 in that second verse, it might be a little bit clearer." God, man, that guy was incredible.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. I said, but I've already been out playing it. I guess I thought it was done. And he said, "Man, they're never done."
Before the break of day.
Coming up, Walt performs some of his old favorites and his latest song. But first, let's learn the history behind a Key West treasure. This episode is sponsored by Ibis Bay Beach Resort. The food, the fun, the sun. Texas Voices gives Ibis Bay Beach Resort 2 claws up. There's nothing else like it on the island. Adventure awaits, or take it easy, but step out of the ordinary and into a memory you'll have for a lifetime. Go to ibisbayresort.com to book today and tell them Texas Voices sent you. Welcome back. Here in Key West, you can make some fast friends, and we've done that here at Ibis Bay Beach Resort. There's so much to do, including daily shark feeding, LED Night Kayaking Tours, scooter and jet ski rentals. Oh, and did we mention the private beach and pool, plus sunset and sunrise views across 2 harbors? We'll let co-owner Tony Osborn tell you the rest. This seems like a very special place.
It is, yeah. It's our pleasure, and that's what it's all about, is welcoming people here, trying to make a warm atmosphere, you know, not just the weather, but, you know, the way you're treated, greeted.
Ibis Bay Beach Resort opened in 1956.
Coincidentally, you know, Pan American Airlines established down in Key West in 1956.
And the Clippers Suite is an ode to that time period.
People come down here, they really enjoy it. It's a 3-bedroom suite. It overlooks the open water. You can open these doors up and the breezes that come through here are just magical.
What do you think it is about Key West that really draws people here besides the weather and the scenery? I mean, there's just such a fun-loving spirit here.
There is, and there's a lot of things to do here. And the one thing about when you come down here, we tell people this all the time, if you come down here and you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes because it'll change. Mm-hmm. Rarely is it gray and overcast. Yeah. You know, it's always pretty sunny. That brings out a pretty bright disposition in most people. It has a little something for everybody, really. You don't have to be involved in diving and fishing. You can come down here, and Duval Street is a unique place with many shops, a lot of bars, a lot of different restaurants. I think we have some of the best food in the country here. I know we have some of the best food on the island in our restaurant here. The seafood that's served here, we catch it, we process it, and then we serve it to you. And that's not a very common thing anymore.
Tony Osborn's family came to the Keys for the fishing industry. 40 years later, it's the history of the island that still fascinates him.
One of the boats that we managed to salvage, which was due to be demolished, was the last boat to actually leave Cuba and come to the United States. It had 41 people on it. President Obama was the one that abolished the Wet Foot, Dry Foot Act. Mm-hmm. And coincidentally, this boat's name is Elbama. So it's Mr. Obama with a little Latin flair to it, but it's a unique vessel. Yeah. We've tried to take care of it and, you know, preserve that history.
Poets and pirates have made Key West their home, and Ibis Bay Beach Resort wants their guests to feel like part of the family. How do you even have an hour to sit down with us with running all these businesses? Because like you were saying earlier, it's not just, you know, a place to stay, it's a place to eat, a place, you know, to have adventures and all of these different things.
Well, the days are long and things are real busy, but it's a matter of surrounding yourself with some good people. Mm-hmm. And the crew we have here is a special group of people. They care about what they do, they care about the place. I think a day goes by that I don't say to myself, you know, treat everybody the way you want to be treated. Mm-hmm. You know, think about this place, think about yourself saving your money up for a whole year and wanting to take advantage of a whole week of a nice environment with a good experience. Come see it for yourself. Yeah. Come experience it for yourself, because it's all about the experience.
Yeah. A big thank you to their team for hosting our crew during Mile Zero Fest. They have been incredible. Still ahead.
I will find you. You will never be so lost.
Walt Wilkins performs at the Texas Voices stage at Lost Boy Creations. Now let's hear a performance from Walt Wilkins at the Texas Voices stage at Lost Boy Creations.
The sky should open up and it rains for days and days. It's flooding all around you and you get swept away. I will pull you close in the middle of the storm. I will hold you tight. I will keep you safe and warm. I will find you. And if the ground should open up and swallow you whole, deep into the darkness to a place forever cold, I will dive right down, straight into the black. I will steal the starlight, and that will guide us back. I will find you. I will find you. You could never be too lost. I will find you. Heavens open up and they call everybody home, and the streets are wild with glory and we're never more to roam, and the angels are all singing and it makes such a joyful noise. In that moment of redemption, I will listen for your voice. I will listen for your voice, and I will find you. I will find you. You will never be so lost. I will find you.
When the sun goes down in Key West, the nightlife ramps up, not just on Duval Street, but here at Ibis Bay Beach Resort. Come along as we go on a nighttime LED kayaking tour.
You grab one of those paddles and then you can hop in a kayak. I'll push you in the water. Right on.
Awesome.
Guys, so we're out here at Ibis Bay. Right now we're gonna go paddle over to that mangrove island. We're gonna go through a cut on that island and go over to a drop-off. So hopefully we're gonna see you know, a bunch of wildlife out here. We got ground coral, Cassiopeias, moon jellies, nurse sharks, all kinds of fish, sea anemones, you know, sea cucumbers. So there's plenty to see, it's just about finding it.
Eventually the sun goes completely down and you can look through the bottom of the kayak and see all kinds of sea creatures. Oh, I see the ledge now.
Yeah, you see it?
Wow.
Being a tour guide out here, I get to educate people about what I love, and you know, it just makes every day good. You know, it's not like going to work. You know, like when I'm not working, I want to be at work. I feel like it's a really good experience for people. You know, it's really unique. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, you know, that don't get all the time.
I wrote this in the first week I was in Nashville. And it got cut a couple of years later by Tom Herndon. And it was the name of his record. And I thought, man, I'm gonna kill Nashville. I'm not brave and I'm not too smart. The Tin Man wouldn't trade for my heart. I've got 2 left feet when I am dancing. A long history of brief romances. Got no rubies, got no diamonds. None passed down, and I cannot buy one. Got a box of hurt and a bag of shame. And you barely know my name, but I've got big hopes about you. Yes, I've got big hopes.
Thanks to Walt Wilkins for his time and incredible talent. Make sure to check out TexasVoicesShow.com, follow us on social media, and you can watch full episodes on our YouTube page. Before we go, Haven Medrano from Austin's Coke FM sings some Kokioki with Walt Wilkins to Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire. We'll see you next time.
Howdy y'all, Haven Medrano here, and I've got Walt Wilkins in the car with me. How about that?
Howdy y'all.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, 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 the flames went higher, and it burns, 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 that ring of fire, that ring of fire. And it burns, burns, burns,
It burns.
that ring of fire. That ring of fire. This
Needs
me
some lotion.
singing is burning.
Medicated.
Ring of fire.
Thank you, lady singers.
The ring of fire.
Did we make the audition?
Well, you killed it. I kind of got us a little off track, but hey, thank you very
That's
much.
great,
That
man.
was a lot of
Eric,
fun.
I love you.